A mysterious package on Adelaide's doorstep changes the course of her birthday in ways she never imagined. Inside is a beautiful pair of shoes, and a chilling warning that set the stage for a night of shocking revelations.
I woke up on the morning of my 35th birthday with a mix of excitement and sadness. Birthdays had always been a big deal for me, but this year, something felt different. I reached for my phone, hoping for a message from James. Nothing. I sighed, missing his morning texts that usually made me smile. He was on a business trip, and wouldn't be back until later in the evening for the party. I threw the blanket off, feeling the emptiness of the house without him. Just as I was about to get out of bed, the doorbell rang, jolting me from my thoughts. Who could that be this early? I whispered, grabbing my robe. I dragged my feet to the front door and peeked through the peephole. No one. My heart skipped a beat, but I opened the door anyway. There was a sleek, black box sitting on the doorstep, just sitting there like it belonged. What the heck? I whispered, glancing up and down the empty street. No sign of anyone. I picked up the box, feeling its weight in my hands. Inside, there was a pair of the most gorgeous high heels I'd ever seen. I stared at them, confused and a little thrilled. These are stunning, I breathed out, running my fingers over the leather. But, who would send me shoes? As I lifted one of the shoes, something fluttered out. A note. My excitement quickly faded as I unfolded it, my eyes scanning the words. The one who will have the same shoes at your birthday party today wants to ruin your life. What? I gasped, reading the note again. I felt a cold shiver down my spine. Is this some kind of a joke? I whispered, my mind racing. I looked at the shoes, then at the note again. Who would do this? And why? I grabbed my phone and dialed James, my hands shaking. It rang and rang until it went to his voicemail. James, it's me. Something really weird just happened. I need to talk to you. Please call me back as soon as you get this. I hung up, clutching the phone to my chest as if it could somehow shield me from the dread curling in my stomach. This doesn't make any sense, I muttered to myself. Who would send something like this? Who could want to ruin my life? My mind raced, replaying every interaction with my friends and family. Only close loved ones, people I trusted, were invited to the party tonight. 1,000 thoughts swirled in my head, but one thing was certain. This birthday had just taken a turn I could never have anticipated. I tried to focus on getting everything ready for the party, but that uneasy feeling wouldn't leave me. The house was filled with the scent of food and the soft glow of string lights, but all I could think about was that note. It felt like a dark cloud hanging over what should have been a happy day. As I slid into the shoes, I couldn't help but admire how gorgeous they looked. I glanced at the clock, counting down the minutes until James would be home. I needed him here. I needed someone to tell me I was overreacting. When he finally walked through the door, I nearly collapsed into his arms. Happy birthday, love, he said, his voice warm as he hugged me tightly. James, I began, but my voice faltered. How could I explain this to him without sounding crazy? He pulled back, studying my face. What's wrong? You look pale. Did something happen? I shook my head, trying to brush it off. I'm fine. Just tired from setting everything up. That's all. James raised an eyebrow, clearly not convinced, but he let it go. Well, you've done an amazing job. Everything looks perfect. I forced a smile. Thanks. I just want tonight to go well. And it will, he reassured me, kissing my forehead. Now, let's get this party started, shall we? As the guests began to arrive, I tried to relax, but every time someone new walked in, my eyes darted to their feet. I was on edge, waiting, watching, wondering. Was it one of them? Were they here, hiding in plain sight? Then the door swung open, and I saw her. Emily. My heart dropped like a stone in my chest. Emily? I said, my voice barely above a whisper. She was wearing the exact same shoes. Adelaide, happy birthday. Emily chirped, completely unaware of the panic surging through me. She walked over and hugged me, but I could barely respond. Oh dear, I said, trying to keep my tone light, even though I felt like I was about to unravel. We have the same shoes. What are the odds? Emily's smile paused for a second, enough to send my mind racing. Yeah. I bought them last month with my first paycheck. Aren't they gorgeous? They are, I replied, my voice tight. You've never worn them before? No, tonight's the first time, she said, glancing down at them. I wanted to save them for something special. Of course, I nodded, forcing another smile. But inside, my thoughts were spiraling. Could it be just a coincidence? As she started chatting with another guest, I felt my phone buzz in my hand. I pulled it out and stared at the screen. An unknown number. My fingers hovered over the screen, debating whether or not to open the message. Another buzz. I couldn't ignore it anymore. I opened the message, my heart pounding. A beautiful woman at a party scrolling through her phone source, mid-journey. The blood drained from my face as I stared at the image on my phone, a photo of James and Emily, in a shoe store, picking out those shoes. They were hugging, smiling, looking every bit like a couple. My heart pounded in my chest as I scrolled to the next message. Hi, I'm Samantha, the sales assistant at the shoe store. 2 days ago, I overheard this man talking to this woman. He said, my love, finally I can enjoy your company. My silly wife doesn't even suspect that I'm the happiest man now with another woman. These shoes will look perfect on you at her birthday. And at midnight, when she falls asleep, I'll be dying to take them off you. I froze for a second, my eyes staring at the message before proceeding. I understood everything immediately. He was cheating on you. Luckily, he forgot his phone while waiting for his partner, and I found a wife contact and saved it. My friend, who works as an investigator, helped me find your address. That's when this plan with the shoes came to mind. You don't deserve to be lied to. I couldn't breathe. The world seemed to tilt as the full weight of the betrayal hit me. My husband. My sister. The two people I trusted most were betraying me together. But instead of crumbling, something inside me hardened. If they wanted to ruin my life, they were about to find out how much I could ruin theirs. I slipped my phone back into my pocket, forced a calm smile, and made my way to James and Emily. Hey, everyone. I called out, gathering the guests' attention. My voice was steady, almost too steady. Thank you all for coming tonight. Before we really get started, I have a little game planned. It's called Guess the Surprise. James, Emily, would you come up here? They exchanged puzzled glances but followed me to the center of the room. I could see the unease in their eyes, though they tried to play it cool. I connected my phone to the Bluetooth speaker, my heart pounding but my face a mask of calm. So, I began, as you all know, I love surprises. And it turns out, my dear husband and sister have been planning a little surprise for me. Emily's face went pale, and James shifted uncomfortably. They had no idea what was coming. With a press of a button, the room was suddenly filled with the audio of their conversation at the shoe store. The words echoed around the room like a thunderclap. Gasps and murmurs rippled through the crowd as everyone turned to look at James and Emily. I stood there, calm and collected, watching their faces crumble. James lunged at me, desperation in his eyes. Adelaide, stop this. Give me the phone. But I was faster, stepping back and holding it just out of his reach. Oh, don't worry, dear, I said, my voice dripping with false sweetness. Everyone's getting the full experience tonight. The recording played on, exposing every tiny detail of their betrayal. When it finally ended, the room was thick with silence, broken by the ticking of the clock on the wall. Finally, I spoke, my voice as cold as ice. You two thought you could humiliate me? Ruin my life? Well, I'm not the one who's going to be ruined tonight. I turned to James, my eyes locking onto his. James, I want you out of this house by the time I wake up tomorrow. You can find somewhere else to go, but you're not staying here. Then I turned to Emily, who was now sobbing quietly, tears streaming down her face. And you, Emily. You've betrayed me in the worst way possible. I never want to see or hear from you again. I'll make sure the entire family knows what kind of person you really are. With that, I turned on my heel and walked away, leaving them standing there, humiliated and exposed, in their matching shoes. The center of attention they'd wanted so badly was now their worst nightmare. After the last guest had left, I grabbed my coat and headed out, determined to find Samantha. I needed to thank the woman who had saved me from this nightmare. When I found her, she was locking up the shoe store, surprised to see me. Thank you, I said, my voice filled with genuine gratitude. You saved my life. Samantha smiled, a kind look in her eyes. Sometimes, the truth is the best gift we can give. I nodded, taking a deep breath as I finally felt the weight of the day lift off my shoulders. Revenge is sweet, I said with a small smile, especially when served in the perfect pair of shoes.